I love to read and write because it lets out all my feelings.
I read at home every time I get up in the morning and also when I get home from school.
I love that I get to for writing. I love that I get to write stories. I got tons about me and my dad went camping back here.
I think, the extra support on finding their own goals and understanding their own writing and just really enjoying the process of reading and writing was really great to see. I feel like my class just loves to read and write, and they'll just read and write all morning, all day if we could.
We access coaches, which we have in the past, but we access them in a different way. We targeted teachers that were new at their grade level and that needed the support and wanted the support. So the coaches went in and worked with them directly. We also had both math and literacy teachers, support teachers that came in. In all seriousness, I can think of one girl, she came away one day and said, "Look what I can do in math now," and she couldn't do it before. And another student was saying, "Look what I can do, I can read this now," and the support teacher was saying the levels that they've grown with having this intense support. So it's been very, very powerful.
I think the more people you have supporting students that really love to read and write, and the more, those students that might just be a little bit in that zone of not feeling like they're quite there, to have that one-on-one support is a big help, especially when they're not maybe really low. One mom and I have talked about the difference in how this one student feels about their reading, and it's maybe not. It's an incremental change, and but it's a big difference in the sense of how much they love to read, which before they didn't, because it was a little bit more of a challenge for them. So
my goal is to make sure everything in my stories, every word in my story is spelled right.
I have a goal for punctuation, and punctuation is important because if you don't put punctuation, then it will be a non-stop story and you won't be able to take a breather.
Every time I write and then I check it over and I try and find the capitals and that's not in the right place. And I put them in the right place.
Write in full sentences, don't skip any words, and soon I think I'm ready to move on to a new goal.
At the end of the year, we've been working a lot on editing goals. We made an editing checklist together, which we hung over here, and we connected it to putting a clothespin with our goal here. So right now, what we're kind of thinking about are those conventions that we're checking for at the end. But we have other goals throughout the year where we're working on, more of the pieces of the writing process, not just the conventions and the editing at the end. We have our word wall over here that the students use, and they have a go sheet, so they have different resources where they can figure out how to write and figure out those tricky words.
My goal is word wall words. I gotta check for word wall words when I'm done. And I got a few. This one, I think.
Our PLCs have focused more on data this year and looking, especially in literacy, looking at those children that are struggling and that have made very few gains or no gains. And we've concentrated on those students first term, and then by the PLC talking, what strategies are you using? What strategies could I use? We've seen growth in those kids.
There's a lot of discussions in the staff room, and people really care a lot about finding ways to really meet the needs of all our students. And I think this school works really hard, and the resources provided to them were really appreciated. So I think
to add detail to our stories when we write, because we need detail, else it doesn't really make sense or stuff.
I'm working on this letter to an author named Jessica Scott Karen, and what I saw when I closed my eyes and imagined myself in a cemetery. And would you like me to read it to you? One time, me and Stefan were going to my house, that's all I got. But
we heard a noise coming from the cemetery. We went in and we saw a ghost.
Sometimes I usually write down my thoughts, what I'm thinking of, and it's really fun.
How does it